Patterson-Gimlin film. Shot in 1967 in Northern California, it shows a large, hairy figure striding through a clearing. Today, we're venturing deep into the heart of the forest, where the trees whisper secrets and the air is thick with the unknown. It's a place where legends are born and mysteries thrive. This time, we're talking Bigfoot. Yes, the legendary creature that has captured the imagination of people all over the world. From the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest to the remote wilderness of the Himalayas, tales of this elusive giant have been told for generations. You know him. You might even love him. The hairy, elusive giant that calls the woods his home. But what is it about Bigfoot that keeps us so intrigued? Is it the thrill of the unknown, the possibility that there are still mysteries left to uncover in our modern world? Or is it something deeper, a connection to the wild and untamed parts of our own nature? Is he real? Is he a myth? Let's dig in and see what we can uncover. We'll explore the evidence, the sightings, and the stories that have kept this legend alive for so long. From blurry photographs to eyewitness accounts, we'll leave no stone unturned in our quest to find the truth. The legend of Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, has been kicking around for centuries. Long before the term Bigfoot was coined, indigenous cultures across North America had their own names and stories for this mysterious creature. These tales were not just idle gossip. They were an integral part of the cultural fabric, woven into the very identity of the people who told them. Native American tribes, the original storytellers of this land, have tales passed down through generations about a large, hairy humanoid roaming the wilderness. These stories were often accompanied by detailed descriptions and even artistic depictions, suggesting that the belief in such a creature was widespread and deeply rooted in their culture. These stories weren't just campfire tales to scare kids. They were warnings, respect for the power of nature, and a recognition that we share this planet with creatures yet unknown. Around the campfire, elders would recount encounters and sightings, emphasizing the importance of respecting the natural world and its many mysteries. But the Bigfoot craze really kicked off in the 1950s. It was a time of exploration and discovery, and the idea of an undiscovered creature lurking in the forests captured the public's imagination. People were eager for new frontiers, and the possibility of Bigfoot provided just that. Newspapers caught wind of strange footprints found in Northern California, tracks way too big to belong to any known animal. These footprints were unlike anything anyone had seen before, and they sparked a frenzy of interest and speculation. Were they the tracks of a giant ape, a prehistoric survivor, or something else entirely? The media dubbed the mysterious creature Bigfoot, and just like that, a legend was born. Headlines screamed of sightings and encounters, and soon, everyone was talking about Bigfoot. Television shows, movies, and books followed, each adding to the mythos and keeping the legend alive in the public consciousness. The question remains, is Bigfoot out there, waiting to be discovered, or is he just a figment of our collective imagination? Join me as we delve deeper into the mystery and try to uncover the truth behind the legend of the woods. Before Bigfoot became a household name, stories of wild men circulated among logging communities. These tales were often shared around campfires, passed down from one generation of loggers to the next. The dense, shadowy forests of the Pacific Northwest were the perfect backdrop for such eerie stories, where the line between reality and myth often blurred. Indigenous populations also had their own accounts of these mysterious beings. These weren't just fleeting glimpses, they were encounters, sometimes too close for comfort. The indigenous tribes had a deep connection with the land and its creatures, and their stories of the Sasquatch were filled with respect and caution. They spoke of the creature as a guardian of the forest, a being that commanded both fear and reverence. Tales speak of massive, ape-like creatures raiding campsites, leaving behind only enormous footprints and a lingering sense of awe and terror. These footprints, often measuring up to 24 inches in length, were unlike anything the loggers or indigenous people had ever seen. The sheer size of these prints suggested a creature of immense strength and power, capable of moving silently through the dense underbrush. One of the earliest documented sightings comes from 1924. This was a time when the world was still largely unexplored, and the forests of the Pacific Northwest were a vast, uncharted wilderness. The story was picked up by local newspapers, sparking a wave of curiosity and fear among the public. A group of miners in Washington state claimed they were attacked by a group of ape men who pelted their cabin with rocks for days. The miners described the creatures as towering, with long arms and covered in dark, matted hair. They were forced to barricade themselves inside their cabin, listening to the terrifying sounds of rocks hitting the walls and the guttural growls of the creatures outside. They called them Sasquatch, a term borrowed from local tribes, and the name stuck. The indigenous people had long spoken of the Sasquatch, describing it as a creature that lived in harmony with the forest, but also one that could become aggressive if provoked. The miners' encounter added a new layer to the legend, painting the Sasquatch as a formidable and potentially dangerous being. These early encounters painted a picture of Bigfoot as a powerful, sometimes aggressive being. The stories spread quickly, capturing the imagination of people far and wide. Some saw Bigfoot as a symbol of the untamed wilderness, a reminder of the mysteries that still lay hidden in the depths of the forest. But were they just tall tales spun by lonely loggers, or was there something more to these encounters? The loggers, often isolated for months at a time, had plenty of time to let their imaginations run wild. Yet the consistency of the stories, the detailed descriptions, and the physical evidence left behind suggested that there might be more to these tales than mere fantasy. The mystery deepens as we go further back in time. Ancient petroglyphs and oral traditions from various indigenous tribes across North America tell of similar creatures, hinting at a long-standing presence of these beings in the continent's history. As we delve into these early encounters, we begin to see a pattern, a tapestry of stories that weave together to form the legend of Bigfoot. The question remains, are these stories rooted in reality, or are they the product of human imagination and the fear of the unknown? While Bigfoot sightings have been reported across the globe, there are certain hotspots where the big guy seems to prefer hanging out. These hotspots are often characterized by their dense forests, rugged terrains, and remote locations, making them ideal for a creature that thrives in seclusion. The Pacific Northwest, with its dense forests and rugged terrain, is prime Bigfoot territory. This region, known for its vast and unspoiled wilderness, provides the perfect cover for a creature that wants to stay hidden. The thick canopy of trees and the challenging landscape make it difficult for humans to navigate, let alone spot a creature as elusive as Bigfoot. Think Washington, Oregon, and Northern California, places where you can get lost in the woods and never be found. These areas are not only rich in natural beauty, but also in Bigfoot lore. Many local legends and stories have been passed down through generations, each adding to the mystique of this elusive creature. The dense forests and remote locations provide the perfect backdrop for these tales, making them all the more believable. But Bigfoot's range extends beyond the Pacific Northwest. Sightings have been reported in various parts of North America, each with its own unique environment and challenges. From the dense forests of the East Coast to the vast wilderness of the Midwest, Bigfoot seems to have a knack for finding the most remote and inaccessible places to call home. Reports pop up in the Appalachian Mountains, the swamps of the Southeast, and even the frozen north of Canada. Each of these regions offers a different kind of habitat, suggesting that Bigfoot is a highly adaptable creature. The Appalachian Mountains, with their dense forests and rugged terrain, provide a perfect hiding place. The swamps of the Southeast, with their thick vegetation and murky waters, offer another kind of cover. And the frozen wilderness of Canada, with its vast expanses of snow and ice, presents yet another challenge for those trying to spot this elusive creature. It seems wherever there's wilderness, there's a chance of running into our hairy friend. Whether it's the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, the rugged terrain of the Appalachian Mountains, or the frozen wilderness of Canada, Bigfoot seems to thrive in places where humans are few and far between. These remote and often inhospitable environments provide the perfect cover for a creature that wants to stay hidden. Some folks say Bigfoot migrates with the seasons, following food sources or seeking solitude. This theory suggests that Bigfoot is not a stationary creature, but one that moves with the changing seasons, much like many other animals. By following food sources and seeking out the most remote and inaccessible places, Bigfoot is able to stay hidden from human eyes. Others believe different variations of Bigfoot might exist in different regions, each adapted to its environment. This theory suggests that Bigfoot is not a single species, but a group of related creatures, each adapted to the specific challenges of its environment. Whether it's the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, the swamps of the Southeast, or the frozen wilderness of Canada, each variation of Bigfoot has evolved to thrive in its unique habitat. Okay, so we've got stories, legends, and maybe even a few fish tales. But what about hard evidence? Well, that's where things get a little blurry. Photos of Bigfoot are notoriously grainy and inconclusive. Footprints, while plentiful, can be faked, and plaster casts erode over time. Then there's the holy grail of Bigfoot evidence, the Patterson-Gimlin film. Shot in 1967 in Northern California, it shows a large, hairy figure striding through a clearing. Is it Bigfoot, a guy in a suit? The debate rages on, with experts on both sides dissecting every frame. The lack of clear-cut evidence is frustrating for believers and skeptics alike. But hey, that's what keeps the mystery alive, right? Maybe Bigfoot is a master of disguise, or maybe he just doesn't want to be found. Either way, the search for proof continues.